am about to embark on a life-changing journey.
I'll be traveling to Kuwait, Iraq, and Germany.
Craig Morgan and Chris Young are the country stars going on this trip.
We'll be traveling with Sergeant First Class retired Joe Bowser and Staff Sergeant Scott Lilley. Scott's dad, Frank, will be traveling with us as well. The neat thing about this trip is that we will be joining Scott and Joe on an emotional journey back to Iraq, where they nearly lost their lives.
We're going to give our thanks to the fine servicemen and women who put their lives on the line for us every day.
Welcome to Stars for Stripes.
Stars for Stripes is, really doing a great thing and allowing myself and other performers and entertainers to go overseas, to actually be in front of the troops over there. I've never been to Iraq before. When I first got asked to go on this thing, it was really, really excited. Not really nervous. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time. Preparations for this thing is really, really kind of crazy, because it's like, okay, we want you to pack everything you've ever owned when you go over there, but don't pack too heavy. There's this huge checklist of stuff that, you wouldn't necessarily think about. I like it, guys. But just being able to go over there and play and bring a little bit of home to them is really important to me.
When I was wounded, I was on a convoy. We were hit with an EFP. I got hit with a piece of shrapnel on the left side of the head. Once I arrived in Balad, I was taken straight to the operation room. They removed about a fourth of my skull. From there, I was taken to Landstuhl Medical Center in Germany.
There was not much hope at that point in time. He potentially could be an invalid, worst case scenario. They just didn't know.
The nurse called my parents to let them know that by the time they got there, they got to sign for my organs, because I probably wasn't going to make it. My mom asked the nurse if she could talk to me, and the nurse said yes.
And one of the nurses put the phone up to Scotty's ear, and Jolene said, "Scott, this is Mom and Dad. We love you. We know you're going to make it."
And they said that he immediately started reaching for the phone and had a reaction for the first time. And at that time, I felt like I had gotten my son back.
That was a good sign to us, and we knew he was going to make it.
From Landstuhl, I was taken to the National Naval Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland.
The next surgery that Scott was scheduled for was to replace the piece of skull that had been taken out by the surgeons in Balad. It's called a cranioplasty. I said a prayer and I asked God, please don't let him die. And I heard distinctly, I didn't give him back to you to take him away now.
My parents supported me by being there from April 18th all the way until the end of February of '08. My parents' support was probably the best thing I could ever ask for.
I really don't know why I want to go to Iraq with Scott with this tour. I think maybe that it'll put a little bit more closure on this whole situation.
I think I'm more scared of him going because of what already happened to me. So if it happened to me, I know it can happen to anyone. I want to go back to Iraq to see what it's like now and to put a close to everything.
The day I was injured was April 12th of '04, which is what I call my alive day. The reason we call it an alive day is because the day that we got blown up and we survived, that's the day God gave us a second chance at life. As soon as it hit, I'm laying on the ground, screaming for help. And I just couldn't believe what had just happened, Had a lot of pain in my foot and my leg. And then they operated on me that night then, right there in Balad. Once I got to Walter Reed, the doctors came into my room and said, you have a couple options here. We can either try to salvage your leg, or he said I could have it amputated below the knee and do everything that I used to do before. So the first thing that came into my mind was I wanted to play hockey again. I played hockey all my life, and so that was my big drive then, is sure, just have it amputated. I was wounded in Balad, Iraq, and I'd like to walk out this time. I never felt like I finished my mission, and so it's like getting bucked off of a horse. and I want to get back in the saddle. And this is my saddle.
This is my first time to be in Iraq, my first time to be in a war zone. So when we hit the ground in Iraq, Kristen and Craig will be entertaining. I will serve as the host, as the MC. Woo! I will be able to introduce and bring up Scott, Lilley, and Joe onto the stage and tell a little bit about their injuries and a little bit about their journey. They're being open about it and talking to the troops and educating them on, yes, this is what I went through. This is the process that happened. And Scott's dad, Frank, is going to accompany us. Who wouldn't want to go back to say, oh, by the way, thank you for saving my son's life. I'm honored to be able to take that journey back with them. I don't take it lightly.
I was in the Army active duty for almost 11 years and in the reserves for about 6 years. I think being in the military absolutely is part of the motivational factor for me to come back. This is my 6th tour to Iraq or Afghanistan or both.
Thank y'all for helping out with the Stars for Stripes.
Our very first trip to Afghanistan, and we were there in '04, so it was shortly after the invasion. And this gentleman walked up to me and he said, "You don't know me, but you and I had a mutual friend. And I know you know that he lost his life." He said his name, and I said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, he was killed in a helicopter crash." And he said, "Yeah." He said, "What you don't know that was he was killed in a helicopter crash on that mountain right there." And he pointed at this mountain. And he said, "Also, I don't know that you know this." He said, "But every morning before they flew and every evening when they came back, he played your music and made us all listen to your music." Well, he started crying. I started crying. It was just an extremely emotional experience. And then afterwards, we sat there and hugged and talked, and he said, "You don't know how important it is that you're doing this."
Thanks for your service. Thank you, sir. Thank y'all for y'all.
I know every time I go home from one of these trips, it takes me about 2 or 3 weeks to emotionally come back up, because it's so draining knowing the sacrifices that these men and women are making over there. It's just very humbling.
It's going to be a long, 13-hour cold trip, apparently. We're ready for it.
Yeah, we just got here in Kuwait. We're going to be at a 5-star hotel at the Radisson, and this will probably be the nicest place that we stay from here on out.
We're going to all go to our rooms, try to get freshened up a little bit, and then we're going to have dinner tonight, a nice dinner.
With some local dignitaries and the gang. The Persian Gulf is just a few feet away out the store down at the inn. I might head that way and check it out. Before dinner, the CEO and president of Stars for Stripes, Judy Seal, gave us all the lowdown.
It's still almost 100 degrees in Iraq, and jump in here, Craig. If you don't drink water, you're going to dehydrate. And we sign every autograph, so that can get long.
You've never played for an audience that will be more appreciative and more polite and professional. Never.
Okay, anything else? We're ready to eat?
It's really neat to kind of interact with some of the locals. Don't get that chance very often in Roswell, New Mexico.
We actually had a couple guys at our table, Hussein, Aziz, and Fahed, and really, really nice guys.
He was saying that he had to watch what he was eating because he was trying to watch his weight and stay in shape. And I said, "Why are you staying in shape?" And he says, "Well, I play hockey." I said, "No way." And so he plays for Kuwait, and I was telling him that I'm on the U.S. amputee hockey team. So if I was going to stay any longer, I'd go play hockey with him.
Mo, Joseph, thank you guys so much. The Kuwaiti hospitality, you guys have displayed the hospitality of this nation, and we are gracious and thankful for that.
It is our country's honor for all of you to be here.
We learned about wonderful foods, and we just made new friends. We had a great time.
In the morning, we have to get up at 5. Well, we're going to have to get up before 5 because we've got to have our bags downstairs and be ready to leave at 5 o'clock. We're going to head off to Iraq.
When we fly over, our flares may go off. You may get startled.
They are like, hey, keep your
killer helmet and your flak jacket on when we're flying. And
nobody's shooting at us, okay?
It is something that they're prepared for. There's still a war going on.
Well, I wish I could say I just woke up, but I'm so excited about the day leaving the Radisson here in Kuwait to go to Iraq. I just didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night.
We got our tags for our body armor. We'll have Kevlar and a protective helmet, and it's our responsibility to keep up with it because they're quite pricey, and if you lose them, we buy them. These are your tickets to attach to your body armor, the helmets and the Kevlar vest,
So I'll need those.
yeah, you'll need these.
Man.
Here she is. Chris Young.
This is heavy. Thank you.
So it's more.
We're heading to Iraq, bottom line. We're about to get on a plane and go over to Baghdad first. So it's exciting. It's good.
On a C-130, and I've spent a lot of time on a C-130, but I've not spent any time up here. All of my time was back there exiting out the back end of these things. So it's very cool. Thanks for letting us fly with you.
So we got into Iraq, and we are here at what they call the JVB.
The intent is you guys are busy, you're going 100 miles an hour all day. When you come back here, this is your place to recharge your battery, to get some food in your belly, and get ready to go for the next day. Part of the history here at the Joint Visitors Bureau is these chairs and couches you see behind me. We think those were the couches and chairs that Saddam and Dan Rather may have sat in when he gave his last interview to the Western Hemisphere.
Actually turned this palace into like a hotel for all the visiting dignitaries and entertainers and what have you. So it's very cool. It's very flamboyant, I guess is a word. There was a lot of waste on Saddam's part, and this is rather obvious in this place.
We had a very impressive meeting with General Anderson and General Odierno.
These are the guys that are in charge over here. I mean, they truly are making life and death decisions every day.
What I'd like to do is present this to each one of you. I want to thank you so much for taking your time to come over here and visit. I appreciate it very much.
Thank
and I just
you.
want to say to you, sir, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it very much.
We're honored. Thank you.
We are.
So those are commander's coins. We give those to soldiers, sailors, and Marines who do extraordinary things. So we want to thank you for taking your time and doing an extraordinary thing by coming over here today. So we really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your time here.
Thank you.
Again,
I just got all teared up because I thought, here's this man, and he's thanking me for coming over and doing what I think is what any citizen could do if they had the opportunity. Just come and show a little bit of home to our troops and to thank them. It'll be a gift I'll treasure forever.
This green circle with the inscription inside reads Al Faw Palace. This was built as a memorial for a battle that was fought in 1986 against the Iranians. This palace is 450,000 square feet. It has 62 rooms and it has 29 bathrooms.
This was a chair that was given to Saddam Hussein from Yasser Arafat. Did you know that?
Yep.
I didn't.
Oh, you already knew that.
That is correct.
Going to and from Camp Meade, I'd been on a helicopter before, but obviously never a Black Hawk helicopters.
When we fly over, our flares may go off. You may get startled. It's just, they go off all the time, so nobody's shooting at us, okay?
And we're like, what do you mean the flares? And they're like, well, you know, in case anybody shoots anything at us, we have flares on the helicopter, and certain kinds of light will set the flares off.
And we climb aboard this Black Hawk chopper. Doors are open, and we fly over Baghdad, fly over the farms, fly over the city.
They are like, hey, keep your killer helmet and your flak jacket on when we're flying, and we are flying over things that are considered, you know, quote unquote, outside the wire. There's a gunner up there the whole time we're flying. It is something that they're prepared for, and it is something that's real. You know, there's still a war going on.
We got out and were met by all these troops. It's a small unit in the Meade outpost there that were so glad to see us.
But I'm proud to say I'm a God-fearing, hard-working combine driver, hogging up the road on my flower, chugga-lugga-lugga 5 miles an hour on my international harvester.
You know, when you got 300 million people in the United States, and you're of the 1% that comes out here and serves our country. And I just want to thank you for all you do, and God bless you all.
Thank you guys for everything that you guys are doing for the United States of America. I don't have to make this quick, so I'm going to introduce you guys to my dad. Thank you all. We were one of those families that voted and supported and everything else, but we were also one of those families that General Peter Pace was talking about when he said, the nation is at war, but America's at the mall. And then when Scott was injured, we got slapped in the face, a little dose of reality. But then we got to see what the military was really all about. You know, there's a natural rivalry you all have amongst the different services. But it was an Army medic that saved his life out on Route Irish. It was the Air Force, the Navy, and the Army medical staff at Landstuhl. They didn't care what branch you were in. And they also took care of the families. And so I learned a little bit more about what you were about. So I wanted to thank you for your service. I'll let you know America supports you. We're proud of you. God bless you and God bless America.
You're patriots. It takes a lot to come out here to the far-flung regions of a combat zone and do what you do. And it brings a whole lot of joy and it makes us feel just a little bit more normal again. To be able to kick back and listen to some good music. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. Appreciate everything that you do.
This ain't nothing. Oh, this ain't nothing.
We were supposed to fly over where Scott was injured. Instead, we took a vehicle convoy. We had to pass through an area that is not pleasant right now.
Stryker, they were amazing. Woo! Our area was kind of enclosed by those T-walls, the supporting walls, the protective walls. So everybody was kind of close together. And the Marines were right there in the front row. Then you had the Army over here, and then you had the medic nurses in the center that screamed out. You had bleachers over here. You had the walls back here that were just filled with troops. I was like, hello, Stryker, you know, and they go crazy. Ah! And all of a sudden, this soldier calls out to my right, 15 Charlie. What's that?
15 Charlie.
What is that?
It's my room number.
I hate to tell you this. You said your room number was 15 Charlie? My husband's name is Charlie. All right, let's get it going. Thank you, kind sir. Okay, we are very, very honored to be traveling with two gentlemen who served alongside of you all here in Iraq. Please welcome Joseph Bowser. Joe?
All you guys wear your flag on the right-hand side here. I wear mine in a different place now. And I tell you, all you medics that are out there, God bless you all. But everybody in Walter Reed knew that my main objective was to get back out on the ice. So I guess it was 2005. I went out there and got back out on the ice, got to skate with the Capitals, and that's when first time I felt like I was normal again.
You are normal, brother.
What I love about Sunday.
I think the Wounded Warrior program is awesome. It's to be able to come back to their point of injury. It's closure for them, it's closure for their family, and to be honest with you, it's closure for some of us too.
Country music is just one of those things that's always brought me back home, and so they come here and they make me feel like I'm actually not in Iraq. I'm not doing a job, that I'm back home for maybe an hour and a half, however long they are here to sing.
Take a walk down a back road, pack a box and a cane pole. I carve our names in that white oak. I still a kiss as the sun fades. What I love about Sunday.
Oh, yeah. For Wounded Warriors to come back, it's twofold. One, it gives the Wounded Warrior closure. So it's not an ending, it's a new beginning. And there is life after being wounded in combat.
That makes me a little old school. Go ahead and call me yesterday's old fool. If that makes me a little throwback, well, throw it at me, don't worry, I can take that. Call me Hey Hillbilly, hell, I'm proud to be. Well, that makes me, what that makes me.
Yesterday morning, we went to an EOD demonstration. The EOD is the Explosive Ordnance Disposal.
Staff Sergeant Bray, United States Army EOD. This is an EOD demonstration.
They've got a bomb robot that they actually let us see, and basically they let us play with their multi-million-dollar RC car.
We're gonna crank them up right here. See what's going on.
There it is. I love it. How about you?